All right, so most normally when you guys come in, I give you about 5 minutes to write things down and get going, but because we've already spent so much time, like I should have started that timer a couple minutes ago, I'm going to still give you 3 minutes, and I'm going to review this again at the end of the 3 minutes, but what you should be doing with this time, what's the number one priority when you walk into a classroom? Plan book. Plan book is your first priority. After that, make sure that you're good on everything else. Check your organization, check that you have out what you need for class. Math binder, math book will probably be useful. So with math book, you'll need at least 2 per team. So like you can share, you can partner up on your books during class, but you'll need 2 per team. Yeah.
Am I in the right class?
Go to language arts today.
Okay.
And so that then you're coming to math next. So that class is going to be really big today, but then we're going to write you up a new schedule, and we're actually already going to schedule a 2-block schedule. We'll get you guys that later. Yeah. I already told Mrs. Goldring, she's aware.
Do we need our calculators?
No, you absolutely do not need a calculator. Oh, you can go ahead and open it if you want to and get this stuff on the way. Leave it in. You can always use mine when you're in here. Mine's the same as that one. All right. Attention up here, please. The groupings today don't have to be quite exactly what they were on Friday because I took some kids and moved their schedules, and actually we'll have other kids coming into this class as well. This always happens at the beginning of the school year for Phoenix because we're getting to know you guys and trying to get your schedule just quite right. So for today, just at least make sure you have 3 people at your table group so you can talk with them. The 5 in the back, that's going to be a little difficult. I normally max out my back table at 4. No, just for space. So for today, it's okay if the 5 of you stay back there, but in the future, only 4 people at the back table. It's just not enough space for 5. Okay, I'm not going to make anyone move today, but in the future, only 4 at the back table. But then you'll know who your groups are after today. I mean, I'll just tell you guys, we're going to give you guys a new schedule tomorrow. So the schedule you've been operating on, not many of you will change, but some of you are going to change like what order your schedule's in. And that happens every few weeks. We change the schedule every few weeks to change groupings and what classes are teaching together and everything else. So please make sure you have your plan book filled out. Another thing that kids do with that, because normally it's 5 minutes, start the homework for the night. Now a lot of you guys already did the homework, which is really good, but I announced this on Friday, and yet I had people calling and texting me freaking out. I almost never have homework due on a Monday. Now, of course, last week was the first week of school, so it was special, but I try to avoid homework due on Monday. So if I assign homework on a Friday, probably won't be due until Tuesday. Okay, I don't like to stress out your weekends. That's not cool. So now homework is due tomorrow. Sometimes I'll collect it, and sometimes I'll just walk around and check it. I want to read what you guys write to me, so I will collect it tomorrow. By the way, Ava, did you come and grab your homework?
No.
Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. So don't turn stuff in normally unless I ask for it. So, because that gets a little crazy with what's in my bin and what's not. If I didn't ask her, I'm like, why am I getting this? So hang on to that just till tomorrow when we actually formally collect that. By the way, I am recording. So if you miss class, if you leave class, if, for whatever reason, this will then get posted on YouTube. Or your parents or whoever else wants to see what we did in class. That is always available. And you guys will see my utilization of technology as we go. So hold up. So if you want to find me, it's real easy. You just have to know how to spell my first name. So you search Micah, M-I-C-A-H, Hudson. I am not the black hip-hop dancer or the military people. Actually, he's made himself way. There we go. This used to be the #1 thing that popped up. So people would search Micah Hudson, and there's these, all these videos, and they're like, what? But now the ranking has kind of changed here. So I should be the top result. Potentially, or at least after you search me, your account will remember. Now, this is misleading. It looks like my channel's empty. That's a lie. What's up?
I need Jose.
Jose.
Come bring your stuff, honey.
Sorry, we're changing people's schedules, and it's a little weird. So you'll see some of this was from summer, but this is always in order by upload date unless you change it. So it will just be like whatever was most recent will be on top of the list. And we are Math 7, so it'll be the M7, and then you look for today's date, and then the M7 class, and then it'll tell you what we did. So that should correspond with what you have at the top of your notes, which from last week, you should still have those notes. And we put a header on them, right? So we did a header of 111 polygons. Now, if you did not take up a lot of space there, you are welcome to just like, say you have stuff written, and then you like had new space. I'm often, actually, no, let me take that back. When you do homework assignments, they have to be on a new sheet of paper. No negotiation. When you start a homework, it gets a new header on a new sheet of paper, and every homework just has that space. You might not use the whole sheet, that's fine. We've got plenty of graph paper. With notes, you can pick up your notes from where you left off. So if you have Friday's notes, and I had on there to have Friday's notes out, and here I'll bring this down to the small screen, or the main screen, so that it's being recorded. So if you have those notes and you have stuff written, whatever, and we were like going set by set, identifying unique characteristics, you could then do a little scribble and say 8.20, right? Today's the 20th, and make your 20 maybe look better. So I can now say, all right, that 2 is just horrible. Because we want to make sure that we know it was a different day. 8/20/18. And then we would keep taking notes because it's the same topic, right? So then we could just say like 1.1.1 continued. Does that make sense? All right, next challenge is actually pretty hard. It's not mathematical. I'm going to drop a few sheet protectors at your table grouping. You need to line them up so they're all pointing the same direction.
Okay, wait.
Which these slippery doodads are sometimes a challenge to do that. You really just absolutely need 4, but you need at least 4 for today. No, because we're going to, so your groups are, so you have your math binder. We're also going to start doing group binders with the handouts because I do not like making a lot of copies. Now you guys lucked out because these are already, I think, in the same direction. Nope, bring it with you to class. Just get a sheet of graph paper.
Did you put these on our map?
No, so just make sure your group has at least 4. So, at your groups, unless you're at the back table, and I'm bringing you guys. At your groups, hey guys, so when your teacher starts talking, I don't know how things worked in 6th grade, but you normally stop talking. So, the deal in my classroom is as much respect as you put forward, I will give it right back. So, I don't want to like get loud, and I don't want to like do the clap thing. The clap thing, quite frankly, I think is lame unless you change up the rhythm. It's like clap, clap, clap is lame. When I do it, it'll be like crazy stuff like that. And if you're like turned on, like if your brain is awake, you can get it. And if you're not awake, then you're just like, no, my hands. But I don't want to like have to tell you guys to stop talking. I just want it to be like, okay, when I need to talk and have your attention, you guys just stop talking. And then you can pick up your conversation later. I just want this to be a cool, easy kind of like, I respect you, you respect me. Now, if you have something that you want to say to the whole class or you think everybody needs to hear, stick your hand up. I will give you the time to talk. You can teach if you want to. I don't care. But when I'm in charge, when I am teaching, if I start talking, you guys got to chill out so we can get through what we need to get through. Okay, so at your table groups, you should have a white binder that was just chilling. There were some papers on top of it. You'll recognize that these papers are similar to the groups of cards that we were passing out last week. These binders, starting tomorrow, will have the Jack, the Queen, the King, the whatever you guys were choosing last week for table groups. And then you'll need to remember that as we move forward. That will be your group for like a week or 2 weeks. In here, we're going to keep all the handouts and the stuff that we use during class. So what you're going to do is clip in all those page protectors that I just gave you guys, and then put each of these 4 sheets, 2 of them are the same and 2 of them are just similar to each other, put them each in a page protector. So the cards, you got 2 sheets of cards from last week, and I ripped the corners off of those so I actually had those stapled. And then you have 2 of these. These are for tomorrow, but I thought I'd go ahead and give them to you. So get all 4 of those put into the page protectors in the binders. And I will be right back.
Wow. No. Toenails. Toenails are so ugly. I know, I hate it.
So I often say that it's really hard to be a kid these days. I truly believe that it's really hard to be a kid these days. So one of the other things I want to make you guys aware of, because we have pod style classrooms, I can run out of the classroom and like go do something or grab computers if I need or whatever. Because I know other teachers are close and they'll hear if there's anything that they're needed for. But the other thing, trust, kind of goes like two ways. It's good and bad. Say like, oh, the teacher's out of the room. Now we can goof off. And you forget that I'm recording. And later I can go watch the video.
What?
And yeah, so that camera's recording right there and it's got a screen capture. So see the dotted red and white line? That's the capture screen. And right down here, there's a little picture-in-picture of what that's doing. So be aware that even when I like trust you guys and I leave and I like go do it, like I can go back and video evidence is pretty indisputable. So we should have 2 sheet protectors with these and 2 sheet protectors with Colorama. You there yet? And you'll know it tomorrow. You'll get it tomorrow. So now clip these in so that these 2 are first, and you should be able to tell which one's first because they're labeled. And if you put them in the wrong order, it's okay. But they have the set numbers at the bottom. So if you did this right, you should have set 1, set 2, and then on the back 3 and 4, which this one's not quite right. But clip those into your group binder. Again, use the tabs at the top and bottom to open the rings. Right here, you just yank the rings open. And all the extra sheet protectors, clip those in. Make sure that you just clip all the sheet protectors in. We're going to work kind of slow as we get some classroom procedures set up these first few days. If you don't have your name tent out, please get your name tent out to help me. Straightforward. I don't know like any of your names yet. I know Greta because she keeps staring at me like she hates everything about school, but I know she doesn't. It's just funny because I look at her. I'm trying to make her laugh. And I know her brother. I know my advisory kids, kind of. Even some of my advisory kids, I'm goofing up their names. So, some of you don't want us to know you yet, probably. You're like, oh no, if they know my name, I can get in trouble.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And then make sure you have out your notes from last week. I see some people without their notes out. My advice would be take that sheet of paper out of your binder. That's why I'm doing a binder this year instead of a journal. My advice is just take that sheet of graph paper out of your binder so you just have that on your desk. And actually, you can stick your math book under your desk for right now. We actually don't need to reference that because you have the handouts. Yes?
What notes?
You took notes on Friday. You were writing like set, number, whatever, and what you had in common. What? Why would you ever throw something from class away? Get out a new sheet.
No, it's in the garbage right now. I'll go get it.
Good luck. I'm surprised they didn't pick that
It's
up.
right here. This?
Yeah. I can't remember how far we made it.
If not,
All right, now we need to get a couple things finished up, and then we need to get out some Chromebooks, but we're not doing that until we get a couple things finished up. Yes, but that is not my job. It is right here, sir. How many sets do you guys have written down for how many commonalities we found? Was it just 1? 2. We made it through 2 sets. You started a second set. So we're going to continue to do this, but instead of rotating cards, I figured I would just give you guys all of them. So at your groups, in your binders now, you have all those sets. And you can look at the bottom right of the card and look at what set number it is. If you haven't done set number 1, if your group did not do set number 1, Put your eyes on that set right now. Turn it in some way that hopefully everybody can see. You could clip it out of the binder if you want, or whatever works.
What are we doing?
We're looking at set number 1 if your group didn't do set number 1. Now, if you did number 1, look at 2. Or if you did 1 and 2, look at 3. Like, look at one you haven't done yet.
Set 1.
So look at your notes. You should be able to figure out based off your notes if you did that set or not. So set 1, and I'll put it up here, but really you should be looking at your table. If you haven't done set 1, check out set 1. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. So who can remind us what we're trying to do? My directions from Friday. I love that your hand's up, but you're not paying attention. Yeah, go ahead. You were just like looking at your pic. I was pointing at you, and you were just.
Oh, what
Ava,
we're doing?
yeah, Ava. What are we doing?
Okay, so we're looking at the cards, whichever one that we did not do, and we're gonna write down what they all have in common, right?
A commonality, a characteristic, a trait that every set, every card in the set has in common. Has to be the same. Make sense? You want to try to go as specific as possible. Same thing we did on Friday. We're just picking this back up so we can wrap it up. All right, 2 minutes start now. No. We're not starting this habit. And you didn't even say please. So.
Sorry. Will you please show your child?
Nope.
Wow,
Don't do
what?
anything, please. I'm bringing Chromebooks around. Don't do anything with them yet.
Mine is my laptop, my password, my Instagram, my Snapchat, Facebook,
What's up?
my iPad.
We're going to register for the online book scene. If you want to hang out and be able to help with that.
So that way I can connect my games to my Facebook.
Me too.
What are we doing today? You're not in here today. Yeah, I am.
Hey guys, we don't even have set 1 written down. We don't even look like we're trying to find commonalities.
No set 1
Aiden
and
doesn't have set 1. How do I know that you're talking about set 1? Do you remember what we did? So those are your notes from Friday. You weren't following directions on Friday. So do I need to be nervous what you follow in directions? So I very clearly said write down set, underline it, put a number. I'm talking to Aiden. This is what I told everyone to do. Write down set, put a line under it, then a number. So make sure that you follow directions, alright? We want notes to look the same. It wasn't the full 2 minutes, but who cares? Look at set number 2 if you have not done set number 2. Now if you have, move to a different one, but if you haven't done 2, I'm going to put 2 on the board. I'm only going to give you 1 minute for this one. 1 minute to figure out set number 2. So on your paper, you should have written set 2. Make sure you write down the number 2 so you know what you're talking about.
This is set number 1.
Tomorrow we're going to see how many commonalities people found. Set 2, we're looking at set 2 now. Bottom right of the cards.
Page 2. Okay. No, wait, that's set 3.
Okay, no, there's a 2.
Terry's probably. Or, I mean, there's another library one. Terry's is probably easiest. I mean, 4 dogs. If we can get done with class, we can play some more Ask Me Anything. You guys can learn a lot more. I know. We never got to.
Duh.
No, we never got to. Mr. Jones grabbing this. Let's just leave those for now. Alright, set 3. This last one we're going to do, we're going to change gears. If you haven't done set 3, try set 3. Give you a minute. 1 minute, go. We're moving on to set 3. If you weren't done with 2, just move on. Just move on. Back table, yeah.
I don't know what set 1 is.
10. 30 seconds. Ah. 10 seconds. Get it written down.
You know who Aubrey is?
Grace? Or 8th grade or 7th grade?
8th grade.
Yeah, but she's going by Aubriana this year.
No, she's not.
That's what we've been told. Time! Alright, now this is why I suggested that you just take your sheet of graph paper out of your binder. Now get a Chromebook. So if you just have a sheet of graph paper on your desk, your Chromebook can go right on top of your graph paper. If you have a whole binder, you might need to turn your binder so your rings are up or put your binder under your desk or something. You won't need to write anything from home. Get a Chromebook and let's start logging in. Yeah, you can grab three more than you possibly. Mr. Smith is grabbing one. I forgot about you. Mr. Smith is grabbing one. So open them up, turn them on, log them in. I don't know if they've been on yet this year, so they might take a minute. All right, you want to go to. Hold on, guys, hang on for a second. Pay attention for just a moment. I know you're like loading, but hopefully this is familiar from last year. We want to go to ebooks.cpm.org. ebooks.cpm.org, or if you just Google CPM ebooks, that'll be fine. From this point out, some of you aren't ever going to open your textbook again, probably.
Is this the inappropriate on your Chromebook?
Down there. Where?
Here.
Which one is that? Oh, my kids think they're so clever. All right, use it for today and then remind me of your class.
I don't want to have it. Wait, is it?
Saying, shoot. Are you guys able to log in? Do you know your passwords?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, we didn't have passwords.
So, whoa, you're in the wrong place. ebooks.cpm.org, that's it.
This?
Yep, right there. ebooks.cpm.org, that's it. If you did not do this in 6th grade, I am sorry. They could have made your life easier.
What is? We did the homework.
You should end up. I gotta log out. I should have gone incognito. That's why I do that. Alright, incognito so it doesn't remember me. ebooks.cpm.org. You should end up here. If you are not here, raise your hand. Well, are you following directions?
Yes.
Well, there you're there now.
You're there, Aiden.
How are we doing?
I'm waiting.
Just loading? Okay. How are we doing back here, guys? You all right? Help each other out. If you're there and your partner's not, help them out.
I'm here.
Then hit the red button, log in with Google, or sign in with Google. Hit the red one. You, give me your attention real quick. On a Chromebook, it knows who you are. On a laptop, not necessarily. But on school Chromebooks, you have to be logged into your account. So you should always be able to use the sign in with Google button. Now, I right now went to my incognito. Google has incognito window, so it doesn't remember who you are. So if I do that, it's going to make me type in my info. It should not make you type in your info. It should just take you here, but you probably won't have any books showing. It'll take you to a screen that looks like this. Yeah, give it.
It says enrollment required.
Yes, absolutely. So you should need to enroll in something. Why do you keep going into different places of your computer? Can you just stay with me? Close that tab. If I have to ask you again, you're going to work on a different computer that's not a Chromebook. So it says, please click here to enter a new enrollment pin. Because you keep going and doing other things. You need to stay on the same page, stay logged in. I'm trying to work slowly so I don't get too far ahead of people. The pin for this class. DCV7U. ducks can, what's a V word? Ducks can visit 7 unicorns. Ducks can visit 7 unicorns.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, so DCV7U. Ducks can visit 7 unicorns. Then click Google Login, I think. Yeah. And then you're going to have to agree to a user agreement. So after you do that, after you type in the code, click the red Google Login again. And you're probably going to have to scroll down. And now, this is different depending on who you are and what elementary school you went to. So if you're not seeing the same thing as me, that's okay. Raise your hand if you get stuck. But you might have to agree to a user agreement. So you have to scroll all the way down through a big document and click I agree. Now, if it doesn't do all that stuff and it just takes you back to home, so if you click on the CPM, like the bridges thing, or click home. Actually, click my ebooks.
Course 1 or course 2?
Sweet. If you're back to the main menu, essentially you should have clicked my ebooks up at the top right. Click my ebooks, put my ebooks up at the top right. Click my ebooks up at the top right. Yep, right there. It's fine. Now, there are multiple ways to get to the same location. Like there are a lot of ways to walk to Phoenix. Right, scroll all the way down and click I agree. Right? I mean, there's not just one way. I could be at one location. I could be over at Thomas Worthington and get here a lot of different ways. Some of you are looking at a screen that looks very similar to. Yeah, I sing sometimes. I gotta find where my home screen is. It's not, but some of you are looking here, right? Some of you are at a screen that looks like this. Some of you are at a screen that looks like this. Yeah. Totally fine, they're the same thing. If you are at this screen, you want to click on the Core Connections Course 2. That is what we're doing this year. Yours won't be Teacher Edition. And unless you're a Spanish speaker, don't think that you're funny and click on the Spanish one. You want the English one. So click on the right book. If you're here, just click on Core Connections Course 2. There's another one that is Spanish. It says ESP. Please don't click on that. That's Spanish. You want to click on this. So everybody should land here. If you're not there, raise a hand. No, you kept going, but why are you a worker ahead of her? Am I going to have to okay, now Aiden, take your hands off the keyboard. Now Aiden, take your, am I going to have to do that all day long? No, I didn't. Class, did I ever say go to 1.1, 1.1?
No.
Aiden, you're crazy. You're hearing things.
Aiden, you're going low.
No, but that's what we do.
Did you hear this? Did you hear this?
No.
Now, click on chapter 1. Everyone's here, right?
Right?
This drops down. Right, drop down menus are fantastic. Now hold up. Chromebooks are different than keyboards, but if you know how to right click on a Chromebook, who knows how to right click on a Chromebook? What do you hold while you click? Well, okay, some keypads are different. Some of them you can just right click down on the right side of the keypad. Otherwise, what do you hold? Yeah, you can press with 2 fingers, and I think you can either hold Shift or Control. If you want to open this in a different window, you can click on it with a right click and hit Open with new, Open Link in New Tab. Or if you just click on it, it's just going to straight take you there. This is your online textbook. Now, one of the biggest things that annoys me are the bars that CPM has put into the online textbook. What do you mean?
Get to there?
So click on chapter 1, it drops down, then click on 111. You're there. Now, right click, you got to figure out how to right click.
I got it.
All right, I only have about 10 minutes, so we got to keep moving. Hold up. Side conversations, are those questions?
Yes.
What's your question?
Why does it just take you to the same page?
What do you mean the same page?
Because you're just opening a new tab.
So you essentially just opened your book to 1.1. Literally, this is a digital version of your textbook. Now here, guys, we have a lot of side conversation, and you can explore this later on your own. Obviously, right now I need you to be with me so that you understand a few of the features in the ebook. So and we will sometimes use this for class because the different tools and things that are on here that we want to use a Chromebook for. If you want to get rid of these blue toolbars, which I always do, up at the very top and at the very bottom, in blue there's a little button that says hide toolbars. Everybody find that button and click it. It just gets things out of the way so you're not distracted by them. Then scroll down the screen, and I'm going to zoom in a tiny bit. Scroll down to the 1-2. What do they have in common? Let's say we used a resource page in class, and I handed it out, and you guys had to keep it. And then you lost it. Dum dum dum. And you, even though I'm very friendly and will do my best to always just do anything I can to help you, you are afraid to come tell me, right? For some reason. On the ebook, or in the ebook, whatever you want to say, all resource pages are available to you. So if you click on the 111C resource page, it will pop open the page we're using in class today. So everyone try that. Find where in the page it says 11C resource page. Is it highlighted blue?
Yes.
If you click on it, does it open?
Yes.
Could you then print that? Well, not from a Chromebook, but could you then print that?
Yes.
All resource pages that we use this year. Hey, Natalie, are you guys with me, Layla? Are we just playing around back there, or what are we doing? What do you have in your hand? Okay, is it necessary right now? Okay, try to stay with me. Are you looking at the resource page? Because I'm not even anymore, but I can tell you guys weren't on there clicking. All resource pages are available to you. Now close that. That should have opened in a new tab. It should automatically open a new tab, so close that. You'll go back here. Yeah, Ava.
Well, my mom has the same water bottle. And two, what if we don't have a printer?
You won't normally need to do that, and you can do it here in the library. If you just log in from a library computer, you can print to the library printers. I would advise you, though, come and see me. I almost always have extra printouts. But if for some reason you're wanting to access something at home or whatever else, so now scroll down to question 1-4. And this is what I think most of the 6th grade teachers relied mainly on. They didn't really use the ebook with you guys. They just used homework help, which you can log into without logging in. So I guess I shouldn't say log in. But see where in blue it says homework help? Yep. Click on that for 1-4. It will open a new tab and jump you straight to the homework help webpage. Now, I would beg of you, for your own mathematical advancement, do not do your homework on the homework help. You'll always be clicking the boxes for help, and you'll never be engaging your brain. Now, they don't always give you a whole lot of hints. Like, these are just some, notice how it says many answers are there's not a right answer here. I just want to see how you guys are thinking. So there is no right answer in this question, but then eventually they will give you a possible answer. Fight the urge to do that, and please don't do it right now. That's why I popped it up and then put it away real quick. Don't use this until you're completely stuck. So I would beg of you, if you want to do your homework using a computer, do it here in the ebook, and don't go to homework help until you're totally stuck. Now, some people, and this will take some self-control, can do this with the ebook and in the homework help, and just not click these. So if I go to so everybody over on the left-hand side, look for, I forget what I just clicked, the blue bar. Click on that blue bar on the left-hand side. Everybody should be clicking the blue bar on the left-hand side of the homework help page. Hang on for just this. We're going to switch classes. I mean, if you got to go, you got to go. But yeah, I mean, you're going to miss some stuff. That blue bar then expands out. It's like a pop-out menu. Click on 1-5. That's your next question, right? Does it immediately help you? No, right? This is just the problem. But is there help immediately available? Yeah, these two hint boxes. So you would need to control yourself and say, I'm not going to click on the hint. I'm going to try to push through this on my own. And then maybe if I want to check my answer, once I figure it out, maybe I could go through the hints and see if the answer is there. Now, in the future, I will also be posting answers so you guys can check your homework. We're not there yet. I'm not trying to layer on a million things right to begin with, because I know I'm already hitting you with enough. But if you want to, and you can get to any part of the textbook over here. So this is all chapter 1. But then if you go back using this up here. You can go back to any part of the textbook. So if I want to go back and view all chapter 1, I could click there. If I want to view the whole textbook, I just click back to CC2 and there's all of the textbook. So then if I navigate 111 and it takes me there to the first problem. And I doubt there's really going to be help on this because it's a letter. There's no help on like you writing a letter. It just says follow the instructions. Right? So sometimes there is no help in here. Please go back to your ebook tab. Back to your ebook tab. Go to lesson. Actually, so hit show toolbars to get the toolbars to pop back up. And click on lesson 115. I know, I just want to show you guys something. What? I have a reason for my madness. What? I'm a madman. Look at me, I'm so crazy. Scroll to where you see repeating decimals in blue. What do blue things normally mean on the computer?
It's kind of important.
Kind of important. Expandable. It really normally means clickable. Click on repeating decimals.
Whoa.
This is the definition straight out of your glossary. So if you're in a lesson, and let's especially say you like using a computer more than you like using a textbook, and you don't know what a repeating decimal is or what that means, I click on it, it pops up, and I know a repeating decimal is a decimal that represents the same sequence of digits forever from some point on or further. Like, there's everything. I just am reading really fast. This, you can expand the box or make it smaller. So in case it's a really long definition. If I scroll to right here, sorry, I'm going to kill my toolbars really quick. I hate the bars being open. If I scroll to right here, see this, does 0.99 equal 1? Click on that.
Whoa. That's pretty cool, actually.
That's pretty big.
Whoa.
That is a video
It's a video.
explaining a part of the lesson. Now, we might use this video in the lesson, we might not, but anything that we use in the lesson, and we don't have to watch this whole thing right now, is in the digital book or the ebook, and anything blue is clickable. So terminating decimals then would pop up that definition. Percents would pop up that definition. So especially if you're doing your homework and you're like, crap, what does percent mean? Oh, a ratio that compares a number to 100. Oh, so like 75% means 75 over 100, which actually means 0.7. Oh, I get it now, because I used my glossary definition. Remember, my goal is to make your life easier, okay? I can't be the only one with that goal, though. You have to have the same goal. You have countless resources available to you. You just have to be willing to use them, okay? Now, one of the hardest things for people to get used to, so we're going to start practicing it right now. I need you guys to all log out of your Chromebooks and get them put back where they belong. So if one person wants to bring 2 up, that's okay. And if each of you only brings 1, you got to take your time and be patient. But we got like 3 minutes to make this happen. Put them in the correct slots. You don't just put them wherever. They're numbered. They have a home, and they all get plugged in. If you had a gold ring Chromebook, Mr. Smith will collect those. Oh, and I always told you guys I'll put up the next day's homework. Tomorrow's homework is going up here right now. So if you want to know what it is, if you want to work ahead, you can. Tomorrow's homework is right there. So if you're bored doing AR extensions or whatever, you can try that out.
It's 1.1. It's 1.1.1 homework and 1.1.2.
Yeah, so 111's due tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to collect 111. Right? That's why a lot of times we don't say the point. And then grab a seat. Once you put your Chromebook away, grab a seat. That stays at your group.
And does this, like, stay?
Yeah, make sure you got the facts. Grab a seat. The white binders at your groups should have the cards in the first 2 pages Colorama in the next 2 pages, and then the extra sheet covers in the back. Because your group is going to use this day after day after day. So you should have the cards in the first 2 pages, the sets, then Colorama, then your extra page protectors. Please check that. Those go to Miss Orange. Yeah, thank you. Keep this here. So, what needs to be on your brain as we leave class? And a lot of times I'll probably just kind of exit slip or one last thing. Do we have homework tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, more so I should ask, do you have homework due tomorrow?
Yes.
Who has it done? I'm just curious. You already did it last week. Who's only got like a problem or 2 left? Like you're halfway done. Should we probably have it done before we leave school today?
Yeah.
That's probably going to be easy.
Yes.
Do you need to take your book home?
Yeah.
No.
No. You have access to the ebook now. If you have a computer at home, you don't need to ever take your book home. So, tomorrow, hey, last announcement, then you're out of here. Tomorrow, if you guys would like to bring your books back to class and leave them here if you so choose, you can. Now, eventually, at some point, probably maybe Friday, we're going to cover our books. So I'll tell you when you all need to bring your books, but please make sure you don't leave them at home. Do not keep your book at home. It needs to come to school with you. If you take it home, talk to me. If you want a book to keep at home, maybe we can find you another one. But talk to me. You should have your book here at school accessible to you. Have a great day, guys. That's all I got. Yes.
And I got mine today.
So we don't use composition books in here. We use a binder. Or one of your small binders and just that graph paper that you had.
And I was gonna see which, or like, if you use composition.
So the comp notebooks are for Science and Connections, share one. And then I know Global Cultures uses one, and I think Language Arts uses one. So take, how many of those do you have?
Mine's already in Global Cultures, the second one for science.
So that's probably going to be Science Connections being used twice. But so take it with you to those classes. We still need to figure out what stuff you're missing. I have extra supplies. So if you find out you're missing something, come see me and I can help you out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. What's up? I don't want that yet. I'm going to collect it tomorrow. And your name's not on that. Go, I'll collect that tomorrow, but we got to make sure that everything's all good.
I don't need all this stuff.
Are you going to be out of school or?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay. Probably the easiest thing to do will be to just catch up when you get back. 'Cause